See, that's how disgusting your mind is. Is
No,
that
that's just
that
how
you would sit
everyone's
on a
minds
panel
work
with
on this
me, you
platform,
would sit
dude.
on a
That's
panel
how
with me for
everyone's minds
fucking
work on this
9 months,
platform.
and the
That's how
whole time you
everyone's
thought I was
minds
a
work on this
pedophile. What does that
platform.
say about you,
That's
you
how
creepy son of a
everyone's
bitch?
minds work on this platform.
You are
Everyone's
a
minds
creepy
work
son
on
of
this
a
platform.
bitch.
Everyone's minds go there. That's why it's such a
My
fucking.
mind doesn't go there. My initial thought when
Girlfriends
I'm mad
did.
at
Your
somebody
girlfriends
isn't.
did. Your
No, she
girlfriends did.
didn't. She
Yeah, she
said you
did.
told that she said that you told
Now
an
you're going to quote it. Now you're
18-year-old
going to quote it
you were
because you
going
now
to
know what
suck
she said.
their dick,
You
and
now
you
know
did.
what she said. You now know what she said.
What did she say? I'm sure you have a screenshot of it. Put it up.
No, I'm not
Put
going
it
to fucking
up.
be.
You put the
Put it up.
screenshot up
You
of
put it
Lena
up.
saying that you were a
You put
pedophile,
it
you
up.
lying piece of
You
shit.
put it up. You put
You
it
put
up.
up the screenshot of Lena saying you're a pedophile, you lying fuck.
She called me a pedophile.
You're so fucking butthurt
Never said
because
she
you
called
don't
me a
have
pedophile.
Lena's fucking information. You're
I
so
never said
butthurt
she
that
called me
you can't
one.
dox her
You're
and call
twisting
her
words
family
again.
and
You're
call her
twisting
job
again.
and do
You're
what you fucking
twisting
do.
again. You're twisting again because you can't talk facts and straight down the line. You got to
I
twist
am talking
them.
facts. You called me a pedophile.
I didn't.
And you say it's okay for a 51-year-old man to want to suck an 18-year-old boy's
I
dick.
never called you a pedophile ever.
You said I'm with a 14-year-old boy.
No, I
Dumb
asked the
fuck.
question. I said, how do we know that she's not?
Twist it however you want, Jake.
No, don't twist my words.
Twist it however you want.
Can I point something out real quick?
Absolutely. I'm sorry, it's Jake's panel. It's up to Jake if he wants to let you.
You can do what you want.
You're the co-host, so I would assume you can do whatever you want.
Well, of course, I don't like how this is going, but beside the point. Okay, so Steve, this isn't the point one of the points I was just trying to open your mind to. You just said to Jake, and it was the point I made with you and Abe. When you went at Abe, he went at you and you responded in kind. And I don't approve. I'm not doing this because I'm friends with Savage, because I'm not friends with her. I don't approve of what she did with you either. I don't approve of how he came at you. But you do understand what I mean when I said all this time you were friends with Abe, and then you finally let it be known how you feel about him. You just said that to Jake. Oh, well, it's nice to know that all this time that's what you really thought about me. Now do you understand the point I was trying to make about that?
Well,
I was
yeah, but isn't it obvious? Hasn't everybody heard what Abe has said and done?
Yes.
On the World Wide Web? Did I say anything to Abe that everybody doesn't know?
No, that's not the shocking part. The shocking part was you've always been such good friends with him and defended him one day against my Carlos comment. And then one day you let him have it.
Fupa, I didn't defend him from your comment.
Well,
you can think he has a Carlos account. He could very well have a Carlos account, but I do not believe that Abe was the Carlos account calling me a strangler. I don't believe that.
Right. You said he's been good to you. He would never do that. He may say sketchy things, but he's a nice guy. He doesn't treat people like that. But then that day when you fought with him, you said quite the opposite. So that's my point.
No, Abe has had, up until that day, Abe has had my back for years over that fucking strangler bullshit. And I will still say that.
Right. And so in everybody's mind, they're like, oh, wow, they're solid friends. They're this. So he doesn't. What do you think about a solid?
Why does everybody? I have a question for you. Why do you think everybody on the internet is my friend?
My point is, you changed an argument just now, used it when that was my argument a minute ago, and you denied it, and you're like making me try to look stupid for feeling that way. When you just did the same thing.
Wait. Let me ask you this: isn't it a little bit different when you think somebody is a pedophile?
I don't believe he called you a pedophile. I saw the.
He said I'm with a 14-year-old boy.
He went back.
He said Lena is a 14-year-old boy, which would mean I'm having sex with a 14-year-old boy.
Look, her calling him a perv and going for an 18-year-old boy was insinuating things about him. So him saying that to Lena Maybe
Wait. That's not insinuating anything. On my panel at the asylum, he told an 18-year-old boy he would suck his dick.
Absolutely acceptable, because that's a foul mouth
18-year-old man.
He's a
18 as an adult.
I'm a 57-year-old man. To me, an 18-year-old is a boy. A 25-year-old is a boy. They are not a minor child, but they are still a boy.
With a foul ass mouth saying foul ass things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So and if anybody has listened, I've been saying for 6 months, I don't want Albert involved in this shit.
Okay, so then why are we throwing this at Jake, what he said to that 18-year-old man, when it's fair game? It's because
Jake is twisting it because he got called out for saying it to an 18-year-old boy, that he should accuse me of having sex with a 14-year-old boy because he got so triggered up.
Yes. He gave Lena the same energy she was giving him. So he went a little bit lower. I agree. It was too low for me too. And I said that to him yesterday. But it is what it is in the art of war on here. It's all words. We all know you're not no pedo. We all know Lena's not no 14-year-old. We all know that was trolling and trying to get under her skin. That was not real. That was not a real accusation. This is what I mean about being dramatic. It's twisting. It's spin doctoring. It's making things seem bigger than what it really was. It's just words. It's an argument. It's giving the same energy, going a little bit lower than that guy. And then the next guy goes a little bit lower. And then here we are.
Yep, here we are.
Calling each other filthy names and we're all wrong. Don't you guys get it? We all are wrong in our opinions and the standards we have. All I wanted was clarity as to why the different treatment. I finally got it. He says, I hold different people to different standards. So I get it now. So when I go over there, I don't have to be mad anymore because I know what to expect. Some people may get yelled at for the same thing someone else doesn't do, or vice versa. You see? Okay, I know that. So it's cool. I just didn't expect
that. When you expect a certain pattern from somebody, if you expect somebody to tell lies and they're lying, you expect that. If you expect somebody to not sink to a level and they sink to that level, then I'm going to say, whoa, what are you doing?
Right. It was, well, okay, now take what you just said. I get it. Because I held you and thought you were a certain person. I thought you were the super fair guy. You always come into a situation when you're asked by somebody, when they want your opinion. And mine and your opinions have always kind of aligned whenever you're like, no, that was fucked up what they did. It shouldn't have gone down like that. When you give your opinion, I'm like, yeah, okay. This is a normal minded guy. He's fair. But then when it wasn't, I guess I didn't understand that that's not what you were going to do over there.
Well, you see, here's the thing.
Now I understand.
99% of what happens at the asylum, I think, is fucked up and disgusting and shouldn't be on the internet at all. I think it's all vile, disgusting behavior. Grown adults yelling and screaming at each other like fucking teenagers, like me and Jake are up here doing right now, is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why I never went.
I don't know how many 100,000 miles away from me, and we're up here sitting on a panel acting like fucking juvenile delinquents, yelling and screaming at each other. Well, you said this about me. Well, you said this about me. It's like the fucking third grade bullshit. Well, my daddy can beat up your daddy bullshit. It's ridiculous bullshit.
I agree.
But it's the drama community. So I provide a channel for people to come and do that shit. But that doesn't mean that I don't have certain people in certain categories. When Barbie Girl, aka Sarah, comes on a panel, you know that you can expect one of two things. Either she's gonna randomly go at somebody, or she's gonna be fairly calm and mellow unless somebody triggers her up. That's what you can expect. If Mr. T comes on or Tina D comes on, you can expect them to yell and scream and go at people. Different people, I have different expectations of them. When somebody that I have watched operate a certain way and I hold to a certain level and they deviate from that, I'm going to call that out. But if a known liar is sitting there lying, what good does it do to call them out? They're just going to keep lying, right?
Correct, they are. But the lies was never on the table for me. We know what that is, and we know that's going to continue. Mine was when you corrected people for crossing your lines, which no children, no family members. Tina, mostly Tina. I only seen Mark do it a couple times. They would do it, and then when someone would respond in the same way about their family members, that's the only confusion. Because I held you to certain standards and thought you were going to be fair on both sides, and when that didn't happen, that's why I voiced my opinion.
Okay, well, I will be more mindful of that.
No, you do you.
I will be more mindful of the fact that because I expect certain things out of certain people, that I am being more lenient with them, and I will still try to hold them more accountable.
Fair? But don't you see that that's not fair? That they get
Life
away
ain't
with
fair. Life ain't fair, Fupa. Life is not fair.
Well, okay, that's why people are going to stop coming around, because it's not a fair fight when they go up there. If you're going to mediate in any kind of way, you have to mediate fairly on both sides. You don't have to white knight for neither one of them sides. Fuck them all. But if you're going to mediate your rules, it has to be held to your standards for both parties. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't matter whether you expect it from them or not. You have to hold your standards for your channel. You have to hold that line. That's all I've been trying to get across to you. Otherwise, people see it, Steve, and they're like, well, wait a minute. I got yelled at, but they didn't. Oh, there they go again. They didn't get yelled at. Well, then it's not a fair fight. So why bother going up there and having it out, working it out?
Yeah, well, you know what? If that makes people not want to come to the asylum and be on the panel, if that makes people not want to come out, if the fact that I expect certain people to operate from a certain mode of operation and I hold different people to higher standards than I hold other people, and I expect certain things from certain people and I don't expect certain things from people, and I expect to get different levels of respect from certain people, I don't have no problem with that. They can not come to the asylum. I don't give a fuck if that channel dies tomorrow. I don't care if the next time I go live, not one fucking person comes up there and I do a 20-minute recap of what happened during the week, and then nobody comes up and says a damn word, and I say, okay, everybody, I'll see you next week or in a couple weeks or whenever I decide to go live again. I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to build a fucking million subscriber channel. I'm not trying to make $1,000 a month to pay my fucking rent from YouTube. I created the asylum to give people a place where they can come talk to or call people out where they would never be able to do it before. And I have the right to not operate the same way as you. I have the right to my own opinions. And you're right. Most of the time, maybe 75, 80%, whatever it is, our opinions line up. But there's many times that we don't. There's many times I've heard you on a panel and I just kind of shook my head and go, oh yeah, I don't fucking agree with that. But that doesn't mean I typed in the side chat and said, what the fuck are you talking about, Fupa? Because you have the right to your opinion, even if it doesn't match mine.
Absolutely, Steve. But why don't you hold your rules and your lines? Let's put it this way. Why aren't you holding your standards, the rules you made for that channel, to every person on that panel? What about your feelings and your respectability and both people respecting your lines?
Well, let's be honest.
Your expectations allow one person to do it, so you don't have no lines, is what I'm saying. Damn. Fuck.
Well, and I get what you're saying, but you have no idea the conversations that me and Lena have after streams. You have no idea how many times I'm sitting up there on the panel thinking, why the fuck am I doing this? I got 9 people up here and not one of them are giving me any respect or respecting the panel. And they're all yelling and screaming and talking about each other's mothers and daughters and sisters and brothers and this and that. And, you know, I don't like the raunchy sex shit. And they go there and they just violate all the fucking rules. And I sit up there shaking my head going, why the fuck am I even giving these people the opportunity to be here and talk to each other? Maybe I should just shut the whole shit down and let them go back to the way it was and live stream against each other and react to each other instead of having a platform to talk to each other, because I get fucking shot at from every fucking direction. I get people saying, oh, you're white knighting for Jake. Oh, you're white knighting for Tina D. Oh, you're white knighting for Mr. T. Oh, you're protecting this person, or you're harboring this person, or you're doing this, or you're doing that. And all I'm trying to do is provide a platform. If people want to, they can ask my opinion about every single thing. I'll tell you flat out, 75% of the time, my opinion is going to be, you both are acting like fucking idiots. You both are acting like juvenile fucking delinquents. You both are acting like spoiled fucking brats. This shit is so fucking petty and so fucking ridiculous that you should both just shut the fuck up and take a nap.
I can answer why this happens, Steve.
I can answer that question too. It's the whole point I keep trying to make.
Happen.
You allow other people to do it because you expect it of them. And when other people see them getting away with it, they're like, well, fuck, we can not have respect either. Let's go hard. That's why people are doing it.
I'm talking from my own perspective. You know? It's like I can say fuck you to Fred over there, and you let me say fuck you to Fred over there, so I know I can go that far. And then I've said this shit and fucking. And you let it get away with it. You let Tina come. I'm not attacking anyone and saying this. You let Tina come on and scream and shout and fuck you and fuck this. You let her have that much shit. And then Mark, you let him come up and say fuck you, Jake, fuck blah, 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 and you let fucking Kimmy K come up and say fuck you, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not attacking you, Steve, but you've allowed everyone to be able to go up there and just do whatever the fuck they want. You enabled it, and I'm not attacking you and saying that. I'm just saying.
But wait a minute. I did the same thing with you, right?
Yes, I'm saying.
How many times did you say something on my panel and immediately say, "I'm sorry. I know that violates your rules. I shouldn't have said that." How many times? I let you go to the point where you said, "I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to stop. Kick me off your panel," and I didn't kick you off my panel, right?
Dude, you let me do it again. There's no consequences. Everyone knows they can go up there. But yet I'm up here on this panel getting told I show favoritism because I let Mr. T do it and I let Tina D do it, but I let you do it too, right? Oh, you're not listening. I'm saying I did it too. I started off with an example of me doing it.
So you're saying
everyone
when you cross that line. So you're saying when you cross that line, I should have, without hesitation, just booted you off the panel and said, "Come back next year."
Fucking oath.
And I'm that's just what saying, you're saying too, right? Right, Poop?
No, what I'm
when
saying
people do that and they cross that line, I should throw them backstage and say,
no, you should simply speak up and correct them.
However you deal with it.
Listen, everybody started crossing the line because they kept seeing Mark and Tina do it and never be reprimanded. But they did. So they finally got mad and said, fuck it, we're just going to do it because they keep getting away with it. They got mad. When you see a child steal, look, when you go to the store, steal in front of your child. And then when they get caught doing it, you smack the shit out of them and say, stealing's bad. Don't you steal. And then you steal in front of your child again. What do you think the child's going to keep doing? They're going to keep stealing because your words aren't matching your actions. Tina and Mark kept bringing up crossing your line by bringing up kids and family members. And then when Jake would come back, you would only yell then when the person came back. You should have got their ass right then and there and been like, whoa, you ain't got to be like, Tina, get out of here. I'm done with you. You could have said, Tina, that's crossing my line. Don't do it again or you'll get a 5-minute in the backstage, just like you can to everybody. People got mad and started. You lost control. You said it yourself. For 12 streams, things were wonderful. But then all of a sudden it went to hell and they started because Mark and Tina kept getting away with it. They never got reprimanded, but they did. So they finally said, fuck it. It's not a fair fight. So let's all go crazy. Let's cross the lines. They get away with it. That's what I'm trying to say. You absolutely are going to have fighting and fuck you and fuck this up on that panel. That's what it's about. But when they cross your lines that you set, Steve, it has to be across the board, not because you expect it from one person or not. If you do that, it's not a fair fight. So no one's going to respect the lines when someone else is getting away with it.
I'm not saying I purposely crossed the lines. It just became normal to cross the lines.
You got mad because they kept doing it and they didn't get in trouble. So you're like, fuck it. I'll do it too.
I'm not saying that so much, but I'm just saying it became normal that I could just cross the lines because there was no punishment for it.
Right, there was no punishment for nobody for it.
And like I said, that meant
wait a minute. I'm not a babysitter.
No, but you are running a panel.
I'm not a babysitter.
You're running a panel.
And like Coates is saying in the side chat, you can't control mentally ill people.
It's your channel.
If people are getting all triggered up and going freaking insane at them, and I start yelling and screaming at everybody and become one of the insane people yelling and screaming at everyone on the panel, what does that accomplish? I try to let people go.
You're not in control of your channel? Is that what you just said?
Most of the time, yeah. You're damn right that's what I'm saying.
Then what were you bitching about a few weeks back? Oh, I'm